It's recording.
No, not
Hey,
recording.
hello, welcome. Yeah, so you can say hello. Oh, I wanted Mom to say hello.
No.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here. Dad's got the shirt on. Dads know a lot, but grandpas know everything. There you go, flexing on us. That grandpa flex. And we're waiting for Stephanie, and so we're gonna jump on the conversation right now with Stephanie. Let's go. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome to the party. Welcome.
Don't laugh at me.
There you go. We got the whole family on here. And who you're seeing on the screen right now joining us is my sister, Stephanie, and her son, my nephew, Easy, Ziki Wiki. And we're talking about being linked. And we've kind of brought on different subjects in the past episodes. And we want to welcome you, Stephanie. What do you have to say? Please, self.
Nothing. Hello. Just kidding. Not nothing. Hello.
Hello. Have you had a chance to listen to any of the episodes?
I started listening to one, but I got distracted by that MMR SMR video.
On one of the other videos on the channel?
Yeah.
And this is all everything stuff you've heard before, right? To an extent.
Yeah.
And what do you think? What do you think about our conversation? We're talking about, we've been talking about basically what does it mean for us to stay linked together, We talk about different things that are like, I guess, different, right, about us. And we've touched the gamut of topics, but like, maybe we can start off with just, what do you think about being linked?
Or what comes to your mind when you hear the word link?
Yeah.
That was a question for you, Stephanie.
I think of this. That's what I think of, literally.
This? Yeah. But what I mean, I guess, what are we talk about a couple different things. Right now, as we're talking, I want to ask, like, what are the things that kind of distract us from being linked, right? You talked about being distracted a little bit earlier. But also, before you got on, we were talking about family and how we can address family. And so I actually want to shout out to the Washington fam and to the cousin Rosie as well. She's not in Washington right now. I think she's actually in Arizona. But one of the things that we asked is, do you all have any questions? And so she actually commented on one of the Facebook posts, so I'm going to read it. How does living in LA shape the way you see the world? And so I think this could be a good starting point for us as, having a conversation amongst family here. Who wants to go?
Well, I guess I can go. Living in LA, and we were kind of having this conversation with family in Bakersfield, is just, I feel, maybe different than living elsewhere because it's so diverse here. We don't really, no, let me see. I don't know, I really don't know how to put it, but I just feel like it's so diverse. Here, you walk outside, you see all kinds of people, different shapes, colors, sizes. It's it's not like being somewhere else. Like we went to Chicago last summer. I turned around, I really didn't see anybody who looks like me per se. So I think living here is really, for me, I love it. I love that my kids are here because they get to be around people that are all kinds of shapes, sizes, colors.
Yeah. What about you, Dad?
I had traveled to different places, different states in the Union, in other countries, and even in LA, it's like the name it says. You know, LA stands for Los Angeles, and Los Angeles means the angels. And in the Bible, the angels are the ones that have the messages. They have messages for everywhere. So actually, Los Angeles is more than just an LA. It's Los Angeles meaning like los mensajeros, the messengers. So we're here in Los Angeles for a reason.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I feel a combination of both of yours in that I love the diversity, and especially the diversity when it comes to, people who look like me. That's also nice as well. As someone who's traveled around the country, and I also really appreciate what you were saying, Dad, around. I think that the way that I see it is that there's so much opportunity here, and like there's opportunity other places to impact the world, but I think that LA has a special place in that chart of places that get to impact the whole world, really.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of difficult and also expensive. The cost of living because of that. You know, everybody look to Los Angeles. I know New York, Chicago, Houston. I mean, they're beautiful. For whatever reason, it seems like Los Angeles. You know, even our Hollywood is maybe not as nice as Florida Hollywood, or our world, our Disney World is not as good as Orlando, but it's still everyone look to LA.
Yeah, and I guess that this is kind of a good place actually to jump off on a conversation around homes and like what each of our situations is, right? And like as people that are alive right now, what are we thinking? I'm always thinking about what my options are. I'm a I'm a renter right now in Highland Park. Um, my savings has gotten a little better, but not like, house buying
Not like you're ready to move.
level. um, and it would be a dream for me to live here in LA. But even honestly, before getting on here, I was looking online on Zillow for places, and I was literally looking like all the way up NorCal, past Sacramento, um, just to see if there were some plots of land that might be so good, But I didn't even look anywhere near LA. Obviously, I was not.
Yeah, kudos to Dad for making it here. Sometimes it seems impossible.
It always has been impossible, and I've been here, and I raised you here. So there, it is a way. It's just we have to deal with the, like you say, the diversity and the opportunities. You know, we need to see uh, what we think is a problem as an opportunity, regardless of our culture or race or whatever. You know, like you mentioned, we're all here. It's a diverse. Estamos aquí todos juntos, entonces en lugar de ver el problema, vamos a ver la oportunidad. Yo aquí estoy, aquí crecí y aquí sigo, los tuve a ustedes y creo que si no tuvimos todo, tampoco nos faltó nada.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, if there's opportunity somewhere else, even with the intention to come back. Or, well, like we said, Dad, you have a home here. So there's an opportunity at least to have a space for people to visit or to come to that's like in LA. We're a little bit outside here in Covina, but
Yeah, and it depends. It depends what you looking into. See, I was talking to somebody this Sunday, and I was telling them back in the days, a house was only 120, and we thought it was a lot. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. We can afford it. We end up buying houses for half 500,000. You know, how can that be? Why? Before it was easier, but apparently it was harder. And now that it's harder, it seems like it's easier. It's just the way we project ourselves. You know, living in LA, if we don't project ourselves, you know, the right or the wrong, whatever, I don't believe, I mean, duality, whatever. But if you don't project yourself in a way that works for ourselves, for yourself, it becomes impossible. So we can go to other states, ¿sí? O otra parte. Pero hablando de housing, entonces, es la proyección, es how you project yourself.
And I think that's true because I work with I work I work with a lot of low income families who make significantly less than I do, and I see them get homes, and I'm like, how do they do it? How can they get such a nice home if they make less money than I do? But they do it. They project it out into the world and they go and do it.
yeah, I do. Well, I'm like, I guess I think of when is it a good deal? When is it worth it? Because also, my main thing is keeping my cost of living low, which is something that I can do for different reasons, you know. But um, like in that, I just feel like it's not a good deal. Maybe that's just my projection, like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Everything is a good deal. You know, it's just how you see it. It depends how you see it. You can see it as a good or as a bad. See, that's the problem with duality, and we talked about this before. You know, if we cannot transcend duality, and we always, you know, las polaridades siempre van a jalar para un lado. ¿Te recuerdas de pedaling? You know, the bike, you keep pedaling to keep the balance. Entonces, lo mismo que es un problema, podemos intentar a lo menos hacerlo una oportunidad. At least we can try to make it an opportunity. We have nothing to lose. Just trust that it works.
Yeah. No,
Like having kids.
Huh?
Like having kids.
Yes, kids are beautiful. That's life. You know, what would this life be if there's no more kids? You know, me as a Christian, I believe that God is still believing us for as long as we have newborn babies. When newborn babies stop being born, then I worry.
And Stephanie, what did you mean by that?
He said you just got to do it, and it finds a way of working. And that's how it is with kids. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like with Grace and baby number 2, how are we gonna do it? And everything just works. You think, oh, financially this or where we're at or who's gonna watch her, and everything just falls into place. We just gotta do it as if we gotta go buy our house.
See,
Yeah.
At least God provide for you. We're here. You know, next time maybe we bring your mom para que ella les diga también, ir a dejarlos yo a las 5 de la mañana para que tomaran un camión y venir hasta otra ciudad, hasta otro suburbio y todo. I mean, no es fácil, claro que no, pero Los Ángeles es Los Ángeles. ¿Queremos vivir aquí en Los Ángeles o queremos movernos de Los Ángeles? ¿Sí? Es fácil, es una decisión. En el 2003, 2002, por allá yo les dije, vayámonos para Texas. Yo ya había ido, me había gustado y podíamos vernos ido. la vida fuera totalmente diferente, tal vez para Isaac, fuera totalmente diferente para Stephanie, fuera totalmente diferente para todos, hasta para mí. Pero decidimos que Los Ángeles era the place to be.
And it is, you know, it still is. That's the hard part, I guess. Well, I mean, I have ideas and stuff, and it's hard in that I have different ideas about what I want and where I want to live. You know, between do I want to live in the city or do I want to get out of the city?
Some of the ideas that you might have, I can tell probably you what work and what won't work because I had them too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where we can come together. You know what I mean? Not not necessarily that is my way or because of this or because of that, but just because it's like I was talking to my sister. I said, you know me, I'm a young guy with lots of theories, but I'm not young anymore. So some of the theories I already know they're not theories anymore. Ya no son teorías. Yo ya las apliqué. I don't have my white hair for nothing.
There you go.
¿No?
Yeah.
Entonces, no sé si queremos enfocarnos solamente en las finanzas de cómo se maneja aquí o el sistema de vida que hay aquí. ¿Sí? Por ejemplo, yo limpio piscinas. I go to some houses where they go like, you know, like my friends say, what do we do? He's a white guy. So it's not like us. He's not Latino, he's white, but he feels the same way. What do we do wrong? You know, why can they have that, you know? But maybe one day. Pero si queremos podemos hablar.
Well, and that's like the I think we're just going with the conversation, right? Because what comes up for me is also like the choices we make, like you know, not that keeping the conversation specific to finances, like talking about numbers, but like the decisions that we make, right? There's this guy I like that he's an entrepreneur, and he was like, look, if you really want to make money, and he gets on his phone and he goes on Amazon and he's like, a case of water, you know, costs you $800, and it comes with 18,000 little bottles. It's a whole thing, and you go and you sell each one for $1. He said, simple math. You paid 800 plus the shipping, right? And then you go out, you sell that water for $1, and you make $18,000. He's like, do that once a month, save that money, and and invest in the things you want, right? And I'm like, the math is there, and I've done different things, tried different things, but it's like, is that what I'm gonna do, right? Am I gonna spend my time because I want money? Maybe I do need to actually do that. It's hard because I don't want to. I want to be painting. You could see the painting stuff all around here. I want to be making music like I do, and then do my consulting. Um, but
I think you're moving forward. I think you're on. I mean, sometimes the mind just play games. Mira, two of my pastor's friends, older than me, one from Guatemala and the other one from Costa Rica. One Guatemala told me one time, you know, everything in paper, you know, in pencil, they look pretty good. And the other pastor, another mentor of mine from Costa Rica, he told me one time, mijo, everything works if you put it to work. So don't just leave it on the piece of paper and a pen. ¿Sí me entiendes? You know, because on the piece of paper and the pen, it will always look good. When you project yourself for your benefit, nothing can go wrong because there's nothing to lose.
yeah,
O sea,
I believe that.
es como yo lo he vivido, ¿verdad? Eso es como yo lo he vivido. Y yo puedo decir que funciona hasta cierto, till certain extent.
And what's coming up for you, Stephanie, as you're listening to this?
Let's share your.
No, we recently bought a Cricut, and we're making little stickers and stuff for shirts. And I think to myself, like, we can be really good at this. But also I think, like, man, how many other stuff have I tried and I stopped that I enjoy doing, but I stopped trying to make something more of it. And so hearing that just, I think, is an encouragement, you know? Like, I have this, I bought a bunch of tools. I always tend to do that. I go out and spend a bunch of money on something, and I do it for a little while and then I stop. And I guess I'm just speaking personally, but hearing him say, like, yes, project yourself, makes me want to try harder, you know? Because I feel like I'm already kind of starting to want to give up. And I have so many ideas, and I just, like, no, put your ideas to work. Don't give up already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that. And I
Giving up luxury, you know, better. I'd rather have different luxuries than giving up. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a vacation. I'd rather, you know, different. See, remember, it's all projection. Give up is a luxury. It's a luxury that you can take if you want, or you can say, no, I'd rather have another luxury. Si es un lujo el rendirse. Y uno puede escoger rendirse y darse ese lujo o decir, no me voy a rendir y me voy a dar el lujo de unas buenas vacaciones. No le hace que sea aquí en Santa Bárbara por 3 días, pero unas buenas vacaciones de relajamiento, tranquilo. Cuando yo,
yeah.
cuando yo me iba a casar, mi papá me dijo, you're not going to make it with one job. You need to have your job, and then you have to have an extra income. ¿Sí? Con el trabajo es para mantener la familia y con el ingreso extra es para hacer lo que tú quieras hacer o lo que quieras que haga la familia.
Yeah, and I believe that I try to have 3 streams of income, at least. That's what I've been working on. And so I do my consulting for diversity, equity, and inclusion, anti-racism, anti-oppression work, which is why you will hear me bring that stuff up often. That's what I do to make money, gladfully, with joy. And then I also make art that I get to sell and show and trade and all the fun stuff that comes with that. And I do my energy work. So I do like sound baths, private, group, public, and then
When you two were born, you know, I was working at a warehouse from 8 to 4:30, and I was delivering papers from 2 in the morning till 7 in the morning. And I still have the chance to make you and her and keep practicing. So that's, I don't know if that was too.
No, I get it. No, and good. You should be practicing. Why not? I believe in the human sexuality for everybody. Um, and I was gonna say that I don't feel like I'm in a rush, but I know that one of the things that I struggle with is comparing myself, and it's hard because I like to be inspired, you know, and sometimes in my wanting to be inspired, I start comparing, and I even feel it in different parts of my body as soon as I start comparing, where it gets tense, you know.
Yeah.
And that's hard because I am a patient person, and I feel like I'm on a good track, um, and still that happens.
Yep, yep, yep. Stephanie, what do you have to say about all these? You fall asleep
I
now.
don't know, because I'm new to this. I should have watched the video all the way. At least one.
Can you hear her?
But
Please?
circling back,
You're saying?
today I had a conversation with mom. Mom's she's she's definitely a lot stricter than dad in certain aspects, and and today she was like, "Oh, un día te vas a arrepentir." I don't even know if I should put this out there. And she's like, "Te vas a arrepentir bien feo por no haber guardado dinero. Like you don't pay a lot for rent and no guardas tu dinero." And for a second, like I'm like, oh, this conversation. But then it took me only a few seconds to think about, like, I don't make tons of money and I don't go crazy either. But I was like, Mom, every time you say, man, me gustaría esto, I usually try my best to go and get it for her. When I hear anyone in the house say, oh, like I want pizza, I want this, it's like when we're with mom, or with dad, I try to take them out. Even when we were here on Sundays, I was like, well, let's go eat. And I was thinking, like, you know what? I don't have all the stuff that I want, but I get to do a lot of the stuff that I do want to do because I spend the money in different ways. And I hear people say all the time when their parents pass away, like, oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. And so to me, sometimes I'm like, the way I'm spending the money is
Hey,
is I feel sometimes the right way because I don't want to have any regrets, especially when it comes to mom and dad because you guys have done so much. So I told her that and she just stayed quiet and she's like, yeah, well that's why I don't ask you for anything. And I just started laughing because I was like, well, that's not exactly true either. Because yes, on Monday I took her puppy to get shots. And today I took her puppy to get groomed. And who do you think for that stuff I was gonna tell her? But I'm like, no, because I understand where she's coming from. But at the same time, next week we're going to Lake Tahoe all week. We do all kinds of stuff and sure I don't have a house, but to this day I've enjoyed everything and I enjoy our little house during this quarantine. We've been fixing it and it's nice. Sure, I feel the same way as you sometimes. Like I get a little bit, I start comparing, and I'm like, yeah. But I compare myself usually to family in Bakersfield because the family I know in Bakersfield they all have homes. I can't see the same for family or for friends here. Not everyone's in the same situation, but usually I compare myself to family in Bakersfield, their friends in Bakersfield because they all have like houses and they all are buying like trailers and all kinds of fancy stuff. But I enjoy being in LA with my
hey,
family, with my mom and dad.
those are choices. We choose. You know, I love the song from Kansas. I always thinking songs. You know, I like music, and uh, all I need is a peace of mind. You know, it's like people living in competition. You know, it's just don't compete. You know, don't compare. You know, it's a choice we make. You know, it's like giving up. It's a choice. It's a luxury. That's the way I put it. You know, it's either I do this or I do that, and which one I will regret more. You know, because at the end, all we want is we don't want to regret. We want to do what we do, and I think one of the things that's one of the things in LA is there's no rush if you don't want to. Even if you rush and rush and rush, yeah, you can do that. But if not, there's no need to. You know?
It's chill.
Yeah. You know, of course, we don't have the luxury of other people with the nicest houses and their nicest cars and all that stuff that they have. And God bless them. And hopefully they're doing well, you know, but we're having fun.
And the vibe really is like that, and that's one of the things that I learned too, like traveling is just like the feel, right? And even when I am around the country, people are like, "You're from California," or not even "You're from California," "You're from LA," you know. And I'm always like, "How do you guys know?" And they're like, "Cause you guys talk like slow. You're just like chill." I
Yeah.
like it.
So it depends which way we want to look at it in LA. You know, like I say, you know, the finances or the family or the fun, right? Is that FFF, right?
Hmm.
Finances, family, fun. Another one, friends, friends.
Friends. Yeah.
That's another one. You know, you don't get too many friends because most people come and go and all of that, but the ones that you can keep, you know, it's good.
It's true. You know what? That's a big thing here in LA that we could probably easily talk about for sure is coming and going because a lot of people don't make the decision to stay. It's expensive, it's hard. It can be these things that we're talking about, and people are like, forget that. I'm out of here. And they go. I know lots of people that are gone. And sometimes I think that's what gets me. And I do feel blessed that you and mom have that place because that's basically the reason that I stay, I think. Outside of like a lot of other reasons, because with friends, so many do. They leave, sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. Um, but there's not a lot of solid friends in LA for people, but I really love my friends, and my friends that I love from LA are people who were like born here también,
Yeah, la
tend to
gente
be.
que es como yo, de donde soy de Mexicali, it's a hot city. It gets really hot. Pero si te quedas allí, you don't mind. ¿Sí me entiendes? Because of the environment también.
Yeah,
Porque la cultura de ahí. No hay muchos lugares para ir a visitar, no hay muchas cosas para ir a hacer, pero es la gente,
yeah.
right?
It
La,
definitely makes me think like it's just gonna be expensive, right? And it always is. It's like when I go out, even to have a drinks, and I'm in a non-coastal city, I'm like, man, that's how much you guys pay for the beer here. Like, dang. In comparison, or even a drink, man, to LA out here, just everything can be expensive. But when you just don't think of it as expensive, but just like the way that it is, it does feel like, okay, I'm not, buying an expensive house. I'm just buying a house. This is just what houses cost in LA, which is my home, right? And that feels different than like, oh, I need to get an expensive house, which for me it is a turn off because I'm like, damn, then I gotta be paying a mortgage for the rest of my life.
that's just the no projection. It's not the rest of your life that you're paying mortgage. You're gonna be paying the rest of your life, regardless if it's a
No
mortgage.
matter what, I'm paying.
That's all it is. You know, you're fighting with yourself.
I'm paying rent as it is right now, I guess, huh?
Buying somebody else's
Exactly.
house.
And you're probably paying almost the same amount that dad's paying.
Órale, toquemes.
But I'm not saying it in a bad
I'm
way.
just
I'm
kidding.
not,
Don't worry about it.
because
You
I always try to convince myself too, like, it's not even.
know,
Yeah.
es bueno. La vida está dando un cambio radical en todo. A ustedes les está tocando vivir un buen tiempo de esta pandemic. It's a good time for you because of your age. I wish I was your age during this pandemic time. I feel like I'm old already for this, but I'm trust God that I will survive, and we will still be together after 2, 3 years from now, and we will talk about all the cubreboca, all the lines and the distance, pero para ustedes este es un buen tiempo porque life itself. it's changing and it will change radically. Va a cambiar todo, man. You know, yo no soy profeta, tampoco soy un científico, ni sé mucho de muchas cosas, pero como dijo un día Einstein, sé pensar. Entonces, todo va a cambiar. Ahorita estamos haciendo esto, imagínate, esperamos que podamos ser de bendición o de ayuda o de encourage others, you know, que algo va a salir, algo bueno hay detrás de todo esto. No es solo que nosotros nos ponemos con una pantalla a hablar.
No, I mean, in terms of in general, I do think that a lot of stuff is already happening and it's going to continue to happen. I think in terms of what we're doing here, I just think it's powerful for people to hear what's going on and that they might be like, oh, I feel that way too. Oh, I feel that way too, you know, and that we just don't feel alone in whatever it is that we're dealing with. And we maybe like on the next episode, we can talk about how this impacted us at the personal level of COVID, you know, and because it's going to be different for each of us um, for different reasons, right? And I think that that might be something good. Um, if for the people who are listening, if you have any questions for us, again, you can bring that up. But I think that that would be a cool topic. The next one is just like, how did COVID impact us? How are we feeling? How have we been dealing with it? Because like you said, in us talking is all of a sudden you're like, see, this is how we're linked, and then it's because you share your story, and then I'm like, oh yeah, see that I feel the same way. And with Stephanie too, when she shares, you know, and even just what you shared today with mom, it also makes me think about how we can continue to be like more responsible to one another with our words, because sometimes that's another piece that we
Yeah, my word para cualquiera, you know, to anybody, especially you two. Uh, like I say before, uh, no competition, and no, what was the other one? It goes with the C too. Comparison. Don't compete and don't compare. Live your life and y busca lo que tú crees que tú quieres, lo que tú no te vas a arrepentir. Una casa, ¿para qué la quiere uno después de cuando los hijos ya se fueron? Muchas cosas que uno quería, ya después, ¿para qué las quería uno? Es
Para
como,
dejar a tus hijos.
sí, ¿por qué no? Yo estaba manejando un MKZ, un MKC, y fui y lo cambié por un Fusión. Qué gran diferencia. Pero somos tu mamá y yo solamente. ¿Para qué queremos?
yeah, the big car. Yeah, and I think that's like a good kind of message to send out to like our family and to our friends and to the people who are listening to this is like we feel you, we're dealing with comparison and with competition, and that um, we're trying to do our part as well to be more cooperative and instead just recognizing each other when we're succeeding. I think it's awesome. I was gonna say one of the things last night I just applied 3 pieces for this museum show here with the Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery, um, and so we'll see what happens there. But I think just continuing to try, like you said, and take advantage of the opportunities that are here in LA and without comparing. I think I'm also just nervous right now because I'm like, man, am I gonna get into the show or not? You know. So that's sort of like my vibe right now, subconsciously.
What is it to lose if you don't get it, right? You know,
Yeah.
but the mind will always be with us, you know. I told you, and I say, you know, not that I told you, but I believe myself that the mind is only for 2 things: to dream and to plan. When I say plan, I already talked about it on the last one. No es que sea un plan ensegados, no es un plan que se va a ir acomodando de acuerdo al objetivo.
Yeah.
Right?
Stephanie?
You?
No, I remember talking about this makes me remember of growing up. I don't know if it was in church or in a classroom, but I remember it was like a big old poster with a few horses on it, and it said, "Life is not a race; it's a journey." And it's funny because I actually started thinking about that the other day again, because here at church, a lot of the teenagers have graduated, and they feel like if they don't go to university, they don't want to tell me because I'm going to be disappointed. And I'm like, I'm not going to be disappointed in you guys if you do something. Just choose something that you want to do and do it. Don't stay at home, do nothing. Don't be lazy, do something. And I said, as long as you do something, I'm like, it's going to be good for you, and it's not about me, it's about you. And I told them, like, because life is not a race, it's a journey. And
It's not about them or you. It's about everybody.
yes.
It's about everybody.
Yes,
You know,
and I was thinking about that last night because I've had them in my mind. Like, what can I do to support them so they won't feel whatever, which is funny because I'm like, I'm not even your mom or dad, and you heard about me. But then, so it makes me feel like, how can I support you if you're, if you're considering how I might feel? What can I do to support you? And I feel like I'm so out of that. Like, I feel older, even though, I'm not that old.
but you're older than them.
Yeah. And so I'm like, how, so maybe next time we'll need a younger soul.
That's how all this started. And now, like you, as a girl, also as a female, you see life and things different, and that's why we wanted you to come to share with us from your perspective as a female gender, you know, because it's easy to get linked with the people that want to get linked, but sometimes we don't want to get linked with others that they're not the same as us. And you say at the beginning that you live in LA. One of the things is diversity. Don't stay quiet. Just share. Don't think about me. Don't think what I think and what I say. Don't think about Isaac, what he thinks and what he says. We want to hear you. I mean, not we.
Sometimes I'm not sure what to say.
People that will watch us, they want to hear you.
The other thing that Isaac said is that this is about other people feeling like they're not alone or something like that. It's true. That's also true because last night when I was doing something silly, something that I don't know, just something silly. There's a girl that I started following on Instagram a while back, and she shared a post, and she's like, "Oh, doing," and I'm gonna say it. Okay, sorry. She's like the under boob. It's when you tuck in your shirt when you're hot. And anyways, she's like, "Oh, for all of you who think that the under boob is not normal," she posted a picture, and a bunch of girls, moms, all kinds of different women were commenting like, "Oh yeah, I do that. I thought I was the only one." And last night when I happened to find myself doing it, I look at myself in the mirror. We look super silly. I look super silly, but it feels good knowing that you're not the only one doing those weird things. And so what you said right now is true. Like, sometimes we need to be able to relate and feel like the weird stuff that we think is not normal is probably normal. It's no, like, we're all going through similar things, but maybe slightly differently.
What makes the rules of what's normal, what is not normal?
Exactly.
It's nothing silly. We think it's silly because that's what we being had been conditioned But no, we want to hear from you. We want to hear, uh, a mom and a wife and with two children. Not my daughter, but you, Stephanie, or whatever name you want to call yourself. I name you a Stephanie, but that doesn't make you a Stephanie. I mean, when you were little and you were my Stephanie, but now you are you.
And you see, Daddy's 333 now.
Y si no me crees, mira.
Look at his name.
Tell us what the shirt says because we can't really read it. Or did you already say it?
Dad knows a lot, but Grandpa knows everything. That's what I'm telling you.
That's why we need to get everybody on here so he can set them straight. But that's why you're setting them straight through us.
I believe in be yourself. And sometimes being yourself is being different. And to be different is not being the same. And to amoldarnos en un molde. How do you say that in English?
To like be shaped in a mold.
Yeah, es la normal.
Yeah. When they give you the mold and they say this is your shape.
Entonces, es un poquito difícil.
Well, and I think either way, like how you were saying earlier, that everything is going to be good, because it was really funny that when I was working on my application, there were so many things that I've been meaning to do that I hadn't done. Like redo my resume or actually do an artist's CV. I hadn't done one. So I was like, I got to do this. And then update my website. I hadn't updated it in like 3 months. And so I knew that they were going to be looking at my website. So I've been working, updating my website. And so even if I don't get it, just I love being able to see my website continue to grow and just be a platform for myself in a way that's more authentic. And I do believe we'll see, today is July 1st, so we'll give you all an update or I'll give you all an update. I guess that's my business. But
see, this is like the Bible says, there's a time and a season. And I believe is, what is this, sin? I think sin, no, probably sin. It says that when the disciple is ready, the teacher, the maestro, the master will come. Entonces, todo lo que uno haga, que uno cree que fue perdido, nada se pierde. Porque al rato lo vas a necesitar. Uh-huh. Y cuando llega el momento, when time comes, you already have all these. ¿Sí me entiendes? Entonces, no, yo entiendo cuando uno está joven que uno piensa que all this waste. Pero cuando uno ya está más grande, uno puede decirle a los más jóvenes, sigue haciéndolo. Nunca va a ser perdido. ¿Sí? Porque va a venir el momento, es como decimos, es mejor graduar de un colegio o de una universidad o tener un título, aunque nunca yo consiga trabajo, a conseguir el trabajo y no tener el título. Entonces, no, it's not a waste.
No, and I believe that, and that's just like we say the last time, the art of living is.
Oh, see? Hey.
The art of living.
Seeing the beauty of everything, man. Don't worry about it. Like Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Remember, we're in LA where we can say Hakuna Matata, right?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of living in LA. That's how it shapes our lives. Mm-hmm. It's not like you have to got 2 jobs when you have to. And if you have two jobs, it's not because it's just enjoying it.
Yeah, you exactly to do the things you want to do. Um, and also, I just want to say that it seems like we lost Stephanie.
Hey, she has
um,
kids.
yeah, and exactly, she has two kids. Um, you were able to meet one of them right there, Ezekiel, who is a 7-year-old, and then a younger one, 1-year-old on her way to being a 2-year-old, or a 2-year-old on her way to be a 3-year-old. No.
Want to be two.
Oh, 1 to 2, yeah. So she's gonna have her hands full, but we'll continue to have her here and invite her to be a part of the process along with other people. If you have any other questions for us, please let us know. Oh yeah, Stephanie's coming back, so she'll be able to join us.
Yay!
Yay! So Stephanie, I was just saying, for people, if they have any questions for us, to let us know. Um, and if you have anything that you want to add to the conversation before signing out for this one, and whether you want to be back for the next one or anything like that.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm a little rusty, so sorry. Um, just that we're all in this together, and yes, we're linked. Um, look for talk to your family. Talk to I won't say your parents, but I understand that maybe not everyone has that luxury. But look to other people because you can learn from other people's experiences, and the grandpas know everything. Just kidding, but not
Right, the
really.
grandpa.
Yeah.
Trust me, us, the elders, we learn more from you than you can learn from us. But you know, link, we can all learn. You know, because trust me, I learned a lot last year with Grace. You know, she was born, she was 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. You know, and she can speak, she can even walk. But I learned a lot with her. You know, I learned a lot with Sikh. I learned a lot with. It's not about being young or old or white or Latino or African American or Asian, any race. It's about learning from each other, and then we can stay linked.
Yeah, staying linked. We're so grateful that we have the privilege to stay linked.
Amen.
And we're going to keep doing this. Thank you to our listeners. Again, shout out to our family up in Washington. I know the cousin Freddie hit me up about the link, and it's actually, um, you know, his daughter Rosie, who also wrote the question. So much love to all y'all and to everybody listening. Send your questions to us um, around staying linked. Again, agree to disagree, mutual respect for all of us, and we can walk towards the future together. I believe that for sure.